Hey, welcome back to Common Sense. It's myself, King Rems. We've got two very special guests. To my right, we've got Ray Latouche. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thank you for coming along.
Pleasure.
To my left, we've got social conversationalist, Mr. Garvey. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And we've got two usual suspects, Mr. D. Jimmy Conway.
Do I look beautiful?
No. To his left, Mr. Cockney Black himself, Clint. How you doing, big man?
I'm good.
I look
You're right,
beautiful,
people.
don't I?
Yeah, you do, Jimmy. You
That's
do.
all that
Why do
matters.
you have
you
to
need.
entertain him?
Everyone needs to know.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, what we're talking about today is religion. Has God and religion let black people down, and how religion is perceived within the BAME community? So two very important subjects and two interesting topics. This stems actually from the topic conversation mentioned by Sarah Garvey and a conversation that Clint and I had on the LGBT episode, where essentially he was talking about angels, and I said to him, what kind of fairy tale is that? So for me, I'm a very logical being. I think that religion is a commercial market. It's an entity. It's something to be sold. Whereas spirituality is the belief system in which you operate. It's how you allow yourself to input on the world and the footprint you leave behind. So I think that there's a very differing view across the panel. And I know, Sarah, for example, you believe you have a belief system. Is that correct?
I have a system for myself, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what would you say is the difference between a system for yourself and religion?
Like you said, religion is organized. Religion is structured. There's money involved.
Mm-hmm.
People are selling you a product. With my system, I'm not selling it. It's just personal to me, and that is what it is. I just think religion has taken billions and billions of dollars, right,
And
from
pounds.
black people and
Yeah.
pounds, right, from black people over the years since its inception. And it's like, my whole thing is black people find themselves at the bottom of the social economic ladder globally,
Mm-hmm.
right? No matter where you go, you will find black people at the bottom of the social economic ladder. So with the money that is used within these institutions could be used to be doing other things than, selling a product that
Absolutely.
is heaven or hell for people to go to. There's billions of pounds just being, dropped down the drain. Preachers getting his new car, his new house,
Gucci belts, Back
Gucci
Nation
belts,
ones.
whatever, right? And it's like that could be used to actually help black causes. So, yeah, that's like my general outlook.
Do you think that if you took away those aspects, like if you took away religion, do you think black people our social economic challenges would be different across the world?
It not necessarily, but it
So
could.
is it religion or is it just human beings?
I
What do
mean,
you
if
mean?
you look at it from the inception of, or perceived inception of where religion came from,
Mm-hmm.
when white people or Europeans or whatever went to the African continent, it
Mhm.
was said that they forced a religion upon them.
Right.
They were quite economically sound themselves. They had a good belief system. They had a good economic system. They had a good ecosystem.
Mhm.
So it could be seen as that religion was a driver for a big downfall for
Yeah.
a whole continent. That's not my opinion. That's
Yeah,
just
no,
historically
and-
what's been reported.
And I agree with that, but my point is that those people were still going to come on and conquer the world with or without religion.
But then we have the absolute flip of the coin, though.
Mm.
And on the panel, we actually have someone who is of a religion,
Mhm.
which is our brother
Yeah,
Clint.
myself,
So,
yeah.
Clint, with the same question being asked, I mean, how would you say your own religion, which is Islam, if I'm
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
affects the
Black
country?
people. Or
Mhm.
So, look, I think it's a bit of an outrageous statement to try and say that religion has been the downfall of black people.
I never said that.
Well, the
Let me
statement
not
being,
misquote anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me not misquote anyone. So, how was religion and God affected black and...
It's let them down.
Sorry?
It's let them down.
Yeah. So, Adam was the first man, so far as Islam is concerned. He was black. So the first message was delivered to him.
Who delivered the message to him?
God did.
And where did God come from?
God doesn't have an origin. What you're saying is God isn't created as you and I were created. He doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end. He's eternal. So therefore, it's you and I that have come into existence. You and I that have a beginning, and you and I that will have an end. Everything that created has an end. Because he wasn't created, he has no beginning. Therefore, he has no end. Understand?
This is what I'm saying about selling it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You see what he's selling? He's selling a product. So God is like this, God's like that, blah, 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 blah. This is religion. It's selling you something. None of the statements that he said could be backed up by
But
evidence.
what is he selling?
Selling God. He's selling God. He
What
just told you.
is being sold to you? I've just given you information.
He said Adam
one
was
moment,
the first
one
man.
moment, yeah.
Can't prove that. He said God gave Adam the word. Can't prove that either. He's selling you something that he can't prove himself. That's what I'm saying. Religion is a tool for selling something that you cannot prove. If I told you right here, right now, that I've got a Ferrari to sell you, you'd ask me for the logbook. You'd ask me for the key. You'd want some kind of evidence that I've got. You would say, I want to test drive the car. But if I tell you God exists and I say, where is he? What is God? Well, it's like he lives outside of space and time. It's like, well, isn't that convenient, isn't it? Like, that's convenient.
So
he lives outside of space
I'll
and
answer,
time.
yeah.
go on,
I'll
go on,
answer for
question. I've got
myself.
a question to ask both of you.
Yeah, I find it a bit unusual that you pose a question and then answer it yourself and then try putting that in my mouth. Don't make yourself look silly, bruv. That's not how you ask a question. You ask a question and you wait for it to be answered, or do you answer it yourself?
To get dicey.
Yeah, well, no, that's what it is. I'm trying to set some precedents here before we carry on. And you can start thinking, you can pose a question out there, answer it yourself, and then try and make out like that's my answer, and it just isn't.
I just told you that. I said that's what you're selling something.
Yeah, I'm not selling anything to anyone. First of all,
Sounds like a sales pitch to me, but go on.
mate, if every time I have a pause, you're gonna speak.
Sorry, go on.
Right,
All right, Clint. Let's keep it moving. Clint, go ahead.
Cool. So look, yeah. First of all, what we accept in Islam, there are certain things, whether you take them or you leave them, that's what we believe they are. One of them is guidance comes from Allah and Allah alone. All we do in Islam is give it a message. We give you the information, you want to take it, you take it.
Where does the information and message come from?
If you want to leave it, you leave it. That's what it is.
Where does it come from is what I'm asking you.
Mate, I haven't finished talking.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Rem. So that's what we accept as Muslims. So whenever this like we're trying to sell you something, we're trying to sell you. So we're not trying to sell you anything. All it is, we're just relaying a message. We're relaying the information that we have. If you want to accept it, that's your choice. If you want to reject it, that's your choice.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Now, what you were saying was, where does
The word come from.
the word?
Yeah, where does it come from? So where like the messages that you guys receive, or is it Abraham? Sorry, is it Abraham?
Adam, we were talking
Adam,
about
so-
at first,
Wait,
yeah.
what? So Adam and Abraham, are they the same person?
No, Adam's the first man, not Adam and Eve.
Okay, so Adam gave the message to Abraham?
No, so they came around at different times. So Adam was the first man,
Okay,
and Hawa, we say Hawa, but other people say Eve.
okay.
And he was the first man. Then Eve was the first woman.
Okay.
Abraham, what you're talking about, he was the father of religion, is what
Religion
they
as
say.
we know it.
Yeah.
So wait,
Abrahamic
what?
religion. It's called Abrahamic
Yeah.
religion.
So
But
where,
He wasn't
where
the father of Buddhism or anything like that.
so where did Abraham come from?
Are you talking about geographical location?
Just
or-
in a general sense of like, so where like,
Rem, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to cut you here because I feel like we're getting kind of off topic with that.
but I
one.
don't understand. He's talking about Abraham. Who is Abraham?
So Abraham is, as we've said, the father of Abrahamic religion.
Yeah, but where did he come from? Because he said
From
that God.
Ur, somewhere around the Chaldeas, Iraq region.
So he's a real person. He's not
According
like he's not an entity like God.
Nah, he's not a real
Oh,
person.
okay,
He's
cool.
spoken as a real person, but there's no proof for him. But
So it doesn't affect you when, like in religious
Me as a
scriptures, it says
person,
if you don't follow
absolutely.
the word of God, you're going to hell. Because that's kind of what it is, right?
If that's what it is, and that's what it is. But for me,
You're going to hell for your
so
lifestyle.
do you,
and
so do you
everything.
think do you think it's okay for a bunch of people, that you're walking past to literally think that guy's going to hell? It's gonna get messed up.
Has anybody ever said that to you?
My
That was
family have told me
guiding
that
their
I'm going
minds.
to hell many times.
But that's not
Many times.
not everybody that
not
believes that
different.
though.
Yeah.
So that's
Not everyone believes it, but it's taught within the religion that if you don't follow, it's
Does
like
it bother you?
it's like a my way or highway. Of course, supremacist.
Does it bother you or not? Does it bother you?
Yes, supremacist ideology is.
But
is,
brother,
is,
if
is
you don't
bothersome.
believe in it, why does it bother you?
one at a time, please.
If you think you're supreme over me, you think you're better than me, that's a problem because that causes arrogance. It causes ego. When people get arrogant and people get egotistical, they tend to do some stuff based on the arrogance and the egotistical. We saw it with the invasions of Africa, because so what you had is you had the Catholic Church that were given the order, by other Catholic priests in the 1400s to go and Christianize and civilize the infidel peoples of the planet. That's what they were told. That's an arrogant statement to make. We've got something that the rest of the world need and want, so we're going to go out there and give it to them by any means necessary, because the ego and the arrogance was already in them, and that's what the religion causes.
Two things.
is that what the
So-
religion
Hang on a second.
Is that what the religion causes, or is that what they used as a tool to go and to complete the mission that they wanted to achieve?
It causes it because
How did it cause it? That's what they
because
used.
the
If the
God of
religion,
the
like I
religion-
was saying before, if religion wasn't there, they'd still go and do those same things.
But
No,
they
because the
create
God
a
of the
problem to
religion
provide
is
a solution.
egotistical and arrogant. So if you're a follower of an egotistical and arrogant individual, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be egotistical and arrogant because that's who you follow. You're trying to
Well,
be just like
depends
them.
on the lengths of how you follow it. Everybody follows religion in different ways.
That's
just
true,
Like
but I'm-
everybody
but
who's,
I'm-
just like everybody who's non-religious
That-
is in different ways. Just
So
like
then-
spirituality is
That's
different. to
true,
every
but the
individual
point I'm
person.
making
Yeah.
is that the religion causes the arrogance.
It's Sarah, do you believe in hell and heaven?
I don't know.
So why does it bother you? You just said
Because
if
I've been
someone-
told-
Let
because
me ask the question out.
You asked why it bothers me.
'cause
All
we've
right,
got-
go on.
No, yeah, because we've got viewers. They have to follow it. So
All right,
it's smooth,
bit by
you know
bit.
what I mean, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah. So if
I'm looking for a verse, you know.
if you don't believe it exists, why does it bother you? If someone says to you, "You're going to go there when you die."
Because what it does, I have a problem, I just said to you, with supremacist ideologies. Supremacist ideologies is what I have a problem with. You can tell me, say there's a white supremacist, and he could call me a nigger, right? Because of his supremacy, because he feels supreme over me. The fact that I feel like I'm supreme over you, you're going hell. It's a supremacist ideology. You feel like you're better than me
Not at
because
all.
you got something that I ain't
Not
got.
at all.
And you
I'll
can't
tell you
even
what it
prove the
sounds
thing
like.
that you got.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
mad.
tell you what it sounds like. Something that you just said. I'm a strong believer of. If you don't have, this is one of my own personal sayings. It's like it's something I've understand just from observing people over time. Something you just made a claim is that God is egotistical and what was the other word?
Arrogant.
Yeah, you'll find that sounds like you are actually that, and that's why it bothers you when someone says to you about you going to hell. It touches your ego. You don't. This is my opinion. Like obviously,
You're entitled to it. Go on.
yeah, but I don't want to offend you, but I've got to call a spade
I've
a
got a
spade.
thick skin,
Yeah.
you can't offend me.
If you're gonna say someone else says to you, you're going to hell, you're saying that bothers you, but you don't believe in it.
You never heard what I said, and I'll repeat
I
it
heard
for
what
the
you said,
third time.
and you answer.
I
No,
said
I heard exactly what you
supremacist
said.
ideologies
I heard exactly
bother
what you
me.
said. Yeah,
Doesn't
so
matter what kind
I'll
of
speak
supremacist
about it.
ideology it is.
If someone said to me, something that you said to me, Clint, when you die, you're going to go there. I don't believe it. It wouldn't touch me, and it wouldn't touch anyone else. If there's something in you that you truly don't believe in it won't touch you, bruv. It's similarly, if you know yourself, when they say know thyself, if someone wants to run up to me and go, "You're a liar," you lied to this person, I said it wouldn't touch me because I know I'm a truthful person. You get it? But if there was some part of me that knew I was a liar, I'd wonder how this person's found out about me.
Right.
Do you get it? Yeah.
That's a good
Right.
point
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make. I mean, but for me, I think it's a good point, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that religion is a monetization of a belief or a word or a book.
Monetization, I would say, is part.
Like they're building these
some
massive
of religion.
churches and these
Yeah.
massive mosques and these massive synagogues.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
what
yeah.
aim?
Yeah,
Like Southwark, for example, they have 241 black minority churches. That's a massive amount
It's massive,
of churches.
100%.
Right?
And that's a lot of money.
And if you think about it as well, factually, Southwark are they have the fourth highest unemployment rate in London.
Mad.
So if there's 241 black minority churches, what are you doing to help the unemployment rate? You've
What
also
do you
got
suggest
a
they do,
31%. You've also got a 31% deprivation rate. So you've got some of the poorest people in the country within that borough. You're preaching about equal and looking after your people and so on and so forth. What are you doing for those individuals? There's 240 of you. But you're too busy selling whatever it is you're selling and telling me I'm going to hell because I lay down with women. Well, guess what? I can roast the breadfruit down there. So fuck y'all. What is it?
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's a
Do you know what? All right, wait.
What's your solution? Hang on a minute. What's your solution, Rem?
My solution is that we tax churches, we tax spiritual institutes. If you want to behave like a business, you should be treated like a business. Because when we see these pastors pull up in their Mercedes with their red bottom
Lamborghinis.
shoes and their wives in the jewels looking
Spat
all
Nation and
glamorous
that.
and fabulous, if you want to treat it like a business, then the corporation that is the HMRC should treat you like a business.
Yeah,
because you
100%.
cannot tell me that these not-for-profit organisations aren't in direct breach of the legislation in which they've signed up to.
And what about-
tax?
and what about-
How is
agree
that
that-
tax going to get to the BME?
It runs through the people. You get a local government grant every year. So if tax is more, you get a higher local government grant, which means there's more money in the communities to be spent by people like me in local government who ensure that money go back to BME communities.
The
This
reason
is
why that
great.
doesn't
This is
happen,
great
though.
to speak about.
The reason
Sorry.
why that, sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry.
Go on.
This is great to speak about, and you have a great ideology of how churches should be run, but that doesn't stop the people that are going into them. That doesn't stop the people that are literally there like, oh my God, God, please help me. Oh my God, Allah,
Because
please help me.
as
Hold
Sarah
on,
said, they're
please.
selling
Wait,
something.
please. There's people that's still there like, I need something. I need this ethereal being to come down. Like they're still going to go. You're talking about the business part. What about the actual people? From
It's
the down
a self-esteem
going
thing.
upwards?
It's a whole Love Island thing. How can you look at Love Island and think, oh yeah, I can find somebody in 2 weeks and fall in love? How can you go to somewhere and be like, do you know what? I'm on my ass right now. I'm of ill health. Let me pray to something that I can't prove or disprove, and it's going to make me better.
But it's
Where
it's
does
not
that
always,
make logical
Some
sense?
people,
it's
it's
not
not that.
always
Some
just about
people
prayer.
literally
That's
are on
it.
the top and they fall to the bottom, and that's their automatic thing. Like, God, I need you right now. You know what I'm saying? They probably haven't prayed
Here's
a
what am I
day
gonna
in their
do?
life.
What are you gonna do?
No, but you know what?
That's
like,
their thing, but that's
hold
the
on.
thing. You're not touching that point. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
You're not touching that point. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not touching that point about that person. You're talking about the businesses.
Listen, I can't
but
lead
what
the
about
blind.
the people?
I cannot lead the blind. I am not the Pied
You know,
Piper.
you know what you were
Okay.
saying about spirituality earlier?
Yeah.
So a lot of people go to church and they find some of that spirituality. And sometimes when you're in a bad place, if you put yourself in a positive place where people around you, it's that you like you said, that camaraderie. When you have that feeling, when you get that sense inside you, it allows your mind a space to think, to be able to
100.
get out of a
But
place.
if
So
you're-
sometimes it's not
It
always
does.
going and praying and thinking.
It's
if I
the energy
pray,
more so
I'm going
than
to come
anything.
out of church, and after my prayer, my prayers are going to be answered. Your prayers are sometimes answered by your own doing, but by how you feel. And some people get a positivity out of church.
That's
I
a very
agree
good
with
point
that.
to make.
I agree
But
with
at the
that.
same time, if
That's
you're
it. I
truly
agree with that.
spiritual, then it shouldn't be confined to one religious building. You shouldn't have to go there to find it.
110%.
Let me
but
ask
not
you-
everybody.
'Cause how
not everybody
many-
is so strong. Not
how
everybody
many-
has that.
Let me
not
ask a
everybody
question.
can
How
do
many
it on
gods
their
are
own.
there?
Yeah, how many
Remy,
gods are there
Remy.
first and foremost?
Remy.
And how many, when you go to like Jamaica, because they're like over 1 million Rastafarians, how many grandiose, tax evasive Rastafarian fucking places of
Temples.
worship and temples do you see?
Yeah, I don't know what you call them because there's
What's
Yeah,
your point?
not
What's
there.
your point?
None, because we believe our spirituality is strong enough to reach the whatever we believe in from wherever we
We
are.
are, yeah.
Remy,
100%.
Remy, quick question.
It's not
is
an
quite
organisation.
It's quite
Exactly.
individual. So how like everybody is not. We live in a very different culture here to Jamaica, and I don't know. I haven't been, so I don't know.
Lovely place.
I'm sure it is.
Great food.
Great rum.
Yeah.
Touche.
But you didn't bring me back now. No, it's cool.
Bruh.
But yeah, so it's a very different culture. So what I'm saying is how it's just different for different people.
I
Like,
agree.
the
Can I ask
spirituality
you a
is
question?
individual. So people over here are not necessarily as strong. So we live in a very fast-paced culture. This Western culture is very different. So how can we say to people, if you take away that religion, as an individual, you just need to go and find your spirituality.
That's
you
it.
need to
Like,
just be
it's
able to
bollocks.
do.
Like, you
people
can't
people
say-
need like
That's it.
community, togetherness, spirituality.
Yeah.
We all here. We're all
And
together.
you have to have that in a church.
And what
You
happened?
can't have that anywhere.
No, but what
I'm not saying
happened?
you
What
can't have
happened
it
to our?
anywhere,
What
but
happened
there's
to
gotta be
that?
some
What happened to
form
that
of
as black people?
togetherness.
What happened to that?
There's so
We,
much
we
to
we
church.
already had our spiritual systems. We already had our cohesiveness. We had our villages. We had our time together. We were doing stuff. We were doing our own thing. We were told, it's the devil. It's this. It's bad. It's black magic. And it was broken up, systematically broken up by who? By these same Abrahamic religions, institutions, which are organized. So I feel like I understand why black people are trying to come together back into some kind of cohesive type spiritual center, because we've always been cohesive type spiritual center type people.
Right.
The problem I have is that we're being bamboozled now. It's a business. Okay, it's actually a business. It's not, we just want you to feel better. We want your money also.
But you've said it there. It's now a business, but that doesn't take away from the essence of what it does, has done, and can do. Just because it's now a business. So that, like he said earlier, it's just one part of it. That's not the whole. That's not the whole. We're here talking primarily about the negative things that it does. These people taking advantage. We're
So-
talking about people literally taking advantage of our own communities.
If that
These are the
isn't-
people that need to go.
If that isn't the whole essence, why did you choose to step out of your Muslim beliefs after 11 years?
So for me, stepping out of my Muslim beliefs were a personal thing between myself and my father, who is Muslim. So I became Muslim for years, and then due to our relationship, that had changed. I was young at the time, so that affected how I moved forward. But I always kept that same level of spirituality.
So you were born into Islam. You never
No,
reverted.
I was Christian.
Okay,
then
right. And then
moved-
reverted. Okay,
that's
fine.
it. And now I'm Christian, but I just see myself as a spiritual person. I don't
Reverted.
Well, you can call it what you want at the end of the day, but it's about my.
Is that
thoughts,
not
my
an arrogant
feelings, and
statement?
my-
This is what I'm talking about, arrogance and ego. Is that not arrogant?
What
To
is-
revert, meaning you were already it,
It's a-
and then you
it's
came
a-
out of it, and then
it's
you
a-
came back.
it's
So
a
but-
word.
No,
It's
it's
a
not,
word.
bro.
It's
With
a
words
word.
come arrogance and ego. You can't say.
I'm not using the word,
a
you are.
revert.
So why
Who said revert here?
I did still.
You- All right, sorry, but I'm just saying the word is used. The word is used amongst the Muslim ummah.
Yeah.
Revert. You like you were gone, but
now
you
you're
came
back.
back,
Yeah,
innit,
yeah,
bruv? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the arrogance. It's like, what do you mean? I didn't know anything about Islam. Nah, you did.
But
You're so new,
yeah.
and you just came back.
But you
It's
know
like,
what?
how
Fair enough, but
arrogant
no-
and egotistical is that, bro?
Yeah, but you
Right,
can say-
right, hang on a
from-
second.
From who?
Right.
Because no Muslim that I've ever spoken to has ever spoken like that to me about.
You haven't
about
heard the
Islam.
term Reaver?
I have heard it, but no one's used that word towards me when I'm telling them that I've decided to move away from Islam and move back to Christianity, or just to find my own.
So you're
peace
an
and
apostate
spiritual-
then?
Call it whatever you want to call
That's
it.
what they will call you. They'll call you an apostate.
They, who's they? You keep saying
Muslims.
they, but they don't. That's what I'm telling you. They don't. I'm here telling you. It's living
Actually,
proof,
it's in
and
the
I'm
book
telling you
now.
They don't. So what if it's in the book? There's a lot of things in the book. It doesn't mean every single person by that religion listens and believes to every single line and word. It's different. It's
Okay,
It's across the spectrum.
So
It's on a
if
spectrum.
you
It's
don't,
not exactly one-
if you don't follow the words and the book, because we were talking about this earlier, if you don't follow the words and all this kind of stuff and all the stuff that's in there, can you still call yourself a Muslim?
if you don't follow
If
every
you don't
single-
follow it line by line, can you still call yourself? Because remember, Clint was saying, "Oh, well, are they? You can get taken out of the fold."
ISIS in terms of
Yeah, he said,
religion.
yeah, because if you get, you can. He decides apparently who you can get taken out of the fold if you don't do X. Yeah, so now you're no longer a Muslim. He said that a Catholic priest who molested a child when they were Catholic is no longer Catholic.
No, you're
Who
Catholic.
makes that decision?
Yeah.
All right, listen.
We,
I
Who
like
makes that
we had a
decision?
point- we had a point on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I've got a point on that,
Yeah,
but I want
hang on,
Clint to speak. Go on.
So the Reaver thing that you were talking about, yeah, Reaver is a term coined by the enemies of Islam. It was coined years ago. They didn't have the term Reaver at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It didn't exist. What happened was people became Muslim. Even the two terms convert and revert didn't exist at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu
When
alaihi
was that,
wasallam.
please?
1440 years ago. That was when it existed. So at that time, for those of you that Muslims that are watching, you'll know that any of the hadiths that were, any hadiths you read, no one was called a convert or a revert. Their previous belief, whether it was disbelief, Judaism, Christianity, or whatever it was, once they accepted Islam, their acceptance was referred to as taking their shahada on out, which is the declaration of faith, which is saying that I believe there's none worthy of worship apart from God and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger.
If a Christian was to do that, they'll be baptized, right?
No.
So taking a
like a
shahada in
baptism.
Christianity is not baptism.
It's like a baptism.
In Christianity, though.
Baptism's a ritual, isn't it? So there's
that
no
what I'm saying?
baptism in Christianity. Shahada is just a declaration of faith, as baptism's
That's
actual ritual,
ritualistic, bro.
I
Baptism
think
includes
that's
the water.
ritualistic.
but I
Yeah.
think it's the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, it isn't, because in Islam there is no ritual. It's just a statement. Whereas
Yeah.
baptism is a ritual. It's the physical. They did with water.
I think the
so on and
base
so
of it of the both of them is the declaration of faith. That's just my
So
what
if
I
you're-
think.
wait,
Yeah,
if
but
you're
there's no
talking to a
ritual,
Ouija
Jimmy.
board,
There's
if
no
you're talking to a
ritual
Ouija board,
carry out.
that's a
If
ritual,
you say
Yeah.
La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, you're Muslim.
Yeah.
But baptism is actually dipping in water, and baptism also comes after declaration of belief,
Okay,
doesn't
Hang
it?
on, hang
If
on.
you-
Sorry.
If you say
I'm not
Muhammad,
finished yet. Yeah.
Sorry, go
If
on.
you talk to a
I'm
Ouija
not
board,
finished
that's
yet.
a ritual, right?
I'm not finished yet.
I
yeah.
want to hear what you say.
So, so the convert revert didn't exist then. All it was is this, just quickly, was the people that accepted Islam. It was just that they accepted Islam and they made a statement. That was that. Understand?
So you talk to a Ouija board, that's not ritualistic, no?
Who talks to a Ouija board?
You're making a statement to powers or other universes, so that's classed as a ritual. So if you're making a statement to say I'm not going to be disrespectful and repeat it, but the
crack on.
phrase that you said,
Yeah.
is that not in the same vein?
As what? A Ouija board?
The
A
statements,
Ouija board?
the
Yeah.
statements
Let
and
me
the
explain to what a
rituals that you
Ouija
go-
board is.
I know
Yeah.
what a Ouija board is.
Yeah, well then it's a silly what are you talking about then?
Well,
If
it's
he's
as
talking
real as
about a
angels.
Know what a
statement,
Ouija board
he's
is?
talking about a
Then
statement.
how is it the same
But the
thing?
statement you make to awaken the essences or awaken that spiritual side of you,
No.
so you can speak to the other side, that's a ritual, no?
Look, this is what the Shahada is. It's just saying, yeah, because you sound like you don't know what you're talking about. That's
I
fine.
know exactly
That's,
what I'm talking about.
yeah, but what your statement from my end, from the knowledge that I have, from what I'm talking about, you don't know that. That's why it seems like. What
So
you're
you say the
saying
Shahada and you're a
I'm
Muslim.
not finished, mate. Yeah, you need to keep quiet for a second. From what you're saying, yeah, what you have to understand from my angle first. Do you know what I mean? Then you can.
I
get
take it as
from
logical.
both ways. So look, spirituality. What is that for you? What is spirituality? Believe in
think
something that
it's-
you can't see or not.
It's intrinsic. It's intrinsic. For me, it's more about my moral compass. It's about how I treat the people around me. It's the energies I put into the world.
If you're talking about energy, this is something that's unseen.
But it's something
Like
you
God.
can feel.
If you say I believe in spirituality, which is something that is unseen, because they're talking about energy.
But
Which
can
is
you or can you not feel
one
energy?
moment, Remy. Yeah, you can feel it. You can't see it.
Feel the
Unless
energy
it
in
comes
this room
out
right
through
now,
a
I'm not
physical
gonna lie.
act,
But you
unless
can
it comes
feel it. I
out
can't
through
feel
physical
it.
action. So what you're talking about is something that is within the unseen. I believe in the unseen as well. But you're trying to say that my belief in the unseen is crazy, but your belief in this unseen energy is real.
You told me about angels. I have not felt an angel.
I asked you about
But
the
everything
energy.
is
I'm
energy,
asking you
though.
about the energy. Now
Let's,
talking about
let's
angels.
bring it right back because again we're going down
Yeah,
the road.
I need
that
to-
way, 'cause
right.
It was a big statement.
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
want you
because
to
that,
elaborate on that, please.
like I was saying, it's let down the black community by, like I said, funneling billions out of the black community, and that is letting them. And the thing is,
What are the methods? Would
the
you say that?
Tithe.
tithes, zakat,
Yeah, the giving.
the giving of
Mate,
any
don't
money
don't ever tie zakat into it, bruv. Don't even bother. Zakat is optional.
charity.
It's
It's optional.
optional.
Yeah, but
if you want to give it, you give it. If you don't want to give it, you don't
is
give it.
zakat
So
one
when
of the
you're talking
five?
about funneling out,
Is zakat one of the pillars of Islam?
yeah,
Let's just
sorry.
let's-
Is zakat one of the pillars of Islam?
One of the pillars of Islam
Is
is
zakat
to
one
give
of
zakat.
Right. So then it's compulsory, isn't it? Because it's one of the pillars. So you can't be a Muslim if it's one of the pillars, right?
You can't be a Muslim if it is
You-
one of the pillars.
Hang on. If
you
you
don't
if
follow
if,
one of
if
the
to be
pillars,
a
what are you trying
Muslim
to
you
say?
have
Ha.
to follow the pillars of Islam, and zakat is part of the pillar of Islam. We talking about how you telling me that I can't put them in the same thing? They're in the same thing. They ask you
I'll
for
explain
tithes,
why.
They tell you zakat. You
I'll
have to
explain
come up
why.
out of your
I'll
pocket.
explain why. Because you don't express and you never express the spiritual side of giving charity. You don't do that. You're just sitting there labeling billions of money, material, this money, that money, that. You're not even talking about the way Muslims view the rewards, the spiritual reward for the physical handing over of the money, because you don't believe in that. So in your mind, it's all about the material, money this, money that, money. It's not always about that for the Muslim that has the money, that have the money enough to hand over some wealth, whether it be half a date. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, give to save yourself from the hellfire, even give half of a date, and it will help you. Not in
So
this
if you
life,
don't
yourself from
not
fire,
not
you
not
have
in
to
this
give
life.
half
Yeah,
a
I'm
date.
talking to you about. You don't have to accept it.
So you
Like
need to
I don't
help.
accept.
Come on,
I
bro.
don't accept what you believe. Yeah,
So you
I'm
want
gonna
to help,
start
you don't
and I'm
give.
gonna finish. That's what's gonna happen.
That's why I said it's one of the pillars.
So,
you have to.
if
do
you
it.
wanna
But
hand this
you've
over-
You've answered the question, and you've answered it yourself in the question. If it's one of the pillars that if you can, you give. But that doesn't mean that it's compulsory.
But if it's a
If,
pillar-
if you can,
No,
it's
but
a pillar.
remember-
So the pillar is if I physically can give,
Then
I
you give it,
If I
exactly.
can't,
But remember-
and I know genuinely in my heart I cannot give, then I'm
Exactly.
still following the pillar because I'm
Exactly.
doing it right.
But
by the
Exactly.
values.
But remember
Exactly.
our
Answer
previous
the question.
conversation-
Exactly.
No, but remember our
Exactly.
previous
Remember
conversation
what Clint
outside.
said?
He
Yeah.
said that things can take you outside of the fold of
Yeah.
Islam. That's
Right.
what he said
So-
himself.
so-
yeah,
So
yeah.
So
relate that
he's
with-
now deciding what takes you outside of the fold of
I'm
Islam
not
and what
no
don't. Because
problem.
if you don't
I'll
follow the
answer.
pillar, you can
Right.
follow the pillar. If
Right.
you don't, you did it. But what takes you out of the fold? Who decides this stuff?
Brother, you think to yourself, if you have the money to give and you choose yourself, I'm not giving it because you want to be a miser, then obviously now
See
you're
what I'm
now.
saying? Because
it's
you want to be a
interchangeable.
miser.
Yeah, because you're being tight. If you have something to
mate.
give and you choose not to give it, then you're going to incur a punishment because you
Going-
could give it and you're choosing not to give it.
Okay.
That's
Bruh.
what it means.
But that
Come on,
answers-
use a
that
bit of
answers the
savvy.
question.
Going forward, because we stuck on the zakat part.
Supremacist ideology, boy,
We've
man.
stuck on the zakat
he's
part
not
a
using
lot.
the common
Wait,
sense.
hold on, because it's like almost like I'm in a boxing match, bruv. Like really, we're just focusing on your point, which you're saying, which is a massive statement.
Black community.
That's let the black community down.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so we went from the part of tithes and such. Let's continue going. From
Okay, so I also believe it's let the black community down by stifling freedom of thought.
Sure.
Okay, so freedom of thought is essential for growth as a human being. If I come to you with a statement and your mind isn't free enough to actually listen to the statement instead of being bogged down by religious dogma, you can tell me, oh, you know what that is? That's because the devil and or that's
This is the
because
popcorn and
that's
kettle
because
black.
the da 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 da. It's because what you are doing now is you are stopping people's freedom of thought, and you actually stopping them from thinking.
So you're saying that people don't have the ability to think, or black people don't have the ability to think? Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
everyone's
So,
got the
sorry,
ability
if
to
you're
think.
black
So is
and
that what you're
religious,
saying?
then your brain don't work.
Everyone's got the ability to think, but when you say things like "if you don't eat a date, you're gonna burn in hell, bruv,"
If you don't
like
give
where,
half a date.
or you
I
don't
didn't
give
say
half a date or whatever.
No,
Where's
no.
your
No,
brain,
I
bro?
didn't
Like
say
when
that,
you're
yeah.
saying that.
You're not even
statement.
listening.
Like,
Do you understand
You're
the
not even
context of
listening.
when these things were written?
Then why are you gonna
Fantastic.
still follow it?
Go-
It's not
let's
a
go
date.
there.
Right, no,
Because
it's not
let's
that.
go there.
Because
It's
there
not
are
that.
principles that you
It's
can still
medieval,
follow
isn't
and
it?
take things out. It's not about medieval. It's about being able to look past the literal word and realize it in the context of your current lifetime
It's a
culture and
situation.
years that we live in.
Exactly.
It's like there are many things written in books, Bibles, whatever, that when it was written, it's in context of the period that it
So
was
it's
written.
outdated then.
Well, it's not outdated because the values and the principles
come
can
on.
still be used today. It's like, what, are the 10 Commandments outdated? What, thou shalt not kill, honor thy mother and father? Well, that's not outdated. We can't understand that in 2019.
So you're
Yeah,
picking and
true.
choosing.
And the thing
what's
about the
outdated.
dates
No,
is
I'm not
this,
picking
yeah,
and choosing.
yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
that
No,
you
that's
just have
true.
to be able to interpret things into the modern day.
What about the talking snakes?
Pardon me?
Talking snakes.
What about
The Bible,
snakes?
talking serpent.
Yeah.
Serpent talking. It's
Yeah.
according to this modern day. We're talking about modern day and back then.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time when there was a talking snake?
I wasn't there.
But
Is
you
that-
wasn't there when the book was written.
Bruh, this is what I'm trying to say.
What's your point, though?
The point I'm trying to make
what
is
what makes
like-
the difference
like-
if I was or
like,
wasn't?
like the sister just said, she said, is it outdated? You said no, right? But what you have to understand is mythology, bro. Neither one of us in here has ever seen a talking snake. So if I came up to you and told you that there was a talking snake and I want you to believe me,
Maybe
yeah?
you don't have the capacity then to understand what that message is in there. So maybe when
it's
you
So it's an
metaphorical.
intelligence.
maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
So
I'm
we're not
just saying
intelligent
personal. I'm not saying that I was intelligent.
Highly
I'm-
convenient.
I'm just-
Let me explain something to you.
Highly
yeah.
convenient.
Let me explain something to you. Yeah, just quickly. Ray, I think Sarah, sorry, you slightly misheard what I said. The hadith about the dates. What?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, the hadith about the dates was it's give even half a date in charity to save yourself from the hellfire. Meaning you don't have to have a lot. Anything small you can give.
So it's a
Because
command.
not everyone's got to walk around.
It's a message.
So can
listen,
I-
So it's a
listen,
com- no,
listen to the message.
I'm
It's
not
not a
listening to the
command.
man that
It's
said-
a message.
Yeah,
the man
listen,
said,
listen.
if give
Even you can give.
even.
What does that mean?
Okay, so
If
Ray,
you-
Ray,
if-
Ray,
do you know what?
Ray,
If
so
it
look,
wasn't
hang on,
religious,
hang on,
I
Ray.
bet you'd
To
understand.
save
I bet
yourself
I bet
right
you
past
from the
that.
fire.
Yeah.
I bet you
Wait,
if somebody
wait,
put that in
let me
context
One
outside
second.
of religion, you'd understand it.
Skip right past that. I get what you're
Bruh.
saying. Skip right past that and just ask yourself, is that a good thing to do or a bad thing to do?
You
So
don't
wait,
threaten
hold on.
somebody
Give
right
is
that,
not
bro.
a threat.
If
To
you
take it
save
as a threat.
yourself.
To
Yeah.
save yourself from the fire.
Basically,
Take
yeah.
it as a threat.
Wait,
Bruh, that's
so
a
you
threat,
said-
bruv.
you
Okay,
said
cool.
You give what
So
you
look,
can
so
give,
look,
right?
yeah.
So say for
Don't
example,
That's
threaten me.
basically what
Hold
it
on,
means.
hold on.
For
Can I ask
example,
a
hang on a
question?
minute. Yeah, you can. And the reason why that said is, yeah, is because you don't want to accept it. If it doesn't bother you, that's cool. But it's going to come a day that's so terrible. All these little things that you've done, you don't have to have a lot to give. You
There
can have
is-
a
So it's a
little
threat.
and
Yeah.
still
To the
give
threat.
more.
Hold on.
Let me
It's
know
gonna
what-
come a
so
day.
this
So
is
this
the
is what I'm
thing,
saying.
right?
All these
So you
threats,
said-
bruv.
let me- So
This
you
is a
said, right,
joke,
you have to
this
give
is.
what you can give, right? So say, for example, you walk into a mosque or a church and you've got, you know you got 50 grand in the bank, right? But you know that 50 grand is to pay for, I don't know.
You've got
something-
responsibilities, basically.
Yeah, you got responsibility.
New house
so
that
you
you get.
give 50p.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Of course
Now
it is
you're going hellfire, man.
because you see your heart, yeah?
Yeah.
Only Allah knows what's in your heart. So he knows your problems, and if he knows that's what he can give, that's what he can give.
So,
That's it.
so you got to remember that when it comes to religions such as Islam, they have the belief system of heaven versus hell or Jannah versus Jahannam. Am I right?
Not verses, but that there will be the ultimately two final destinations. Yes.
Cool.
That
So
God created.
that will be no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just going. If we go by the religious
So
system,
who created
that's what
the
they-
heaven and
one
hell?
moment, one
Allah
moment,
did,
one
Allah
moment,
did.
one moment.
Okay.
If we look at their belief system, that's what they believe.
Yeah.
Me, however, I don't subscribe to a religion at all. So myself, I was Christian. I was looking at religions such as Islam, but I chose to just continue on. I think that a lot of people have different religions and different belief systems, and it just all mixes up. But I think that I think this is something we should revisit. I
We
think this is
revisit
something-
everything.
we
Every
revisit-
episode is like we're going to
No.
revisit some shit.
I think we revisit live. I think we revisit on the page because
Yeah.
this is something we have to bring to the masses.
Okay.
So, with people,
Mm-hmm.
asking everyone, what are your views on religions and the BAME community? Do you feel like they perpetuate a more negative system? Do you feel like it helps a lot? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Definitely leave your thoughts and your comments. We're definitely going to be leaving a whole lot.
Any final words? Any closing words?
Anyone?
Ray?
I think final closing words is just as just outside, on top of, around religion, beliefs, system, spirituality. Just like I say, we just need to focus on the fundamental principles of human beings, and whatever it is you believe in, just love, peace, and just doing the good thing in life for yourself and those around you.
Agreed.
And not being selfish and just looking at the deeper messages and things, no matter whether it's a part of your belief or not, or somebody else's spirituality, what it is. Just learn from each other, take from each other, but remember, it's all going to a good place. No heaven or hell, doesn't matter whether you believe it or you don't believe it. Do good things. That's the better way to do.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself. Spirituality is
Amen.
about the energies and what you put out into this world. I don't agree or believe in the fact that we feel that we should be given servitude, and if we don't, we go into heaven or hell. Like, our faith and our religion and our spirituality shouldn't be bought or sold in the ways that it currently is. for me, Ray summed it up perfectly. Just do good, put good in the world, and just look out for the people around you. Sarah?
I will say from the highlands of the Himalayas to the lowlands of South America, all peoples have believed in some kind of God concept. None of the God concepts should be exalted over the other, because none of them can prove their God. Okay, human beings have always believed in something spiritual, and we should leave it as that. All this supremacist ideology, you must follow, you don't do that, then you'll go to hell, is a nonsense.
Cool. Myself, I believe that when it comes to things like belief system, it should be, for us, especially as black people or BME people, there should be a belief system in the community. We've lost all essences of the community if we look at everything that's going on. We shouldn't be looking towards the things like the temples and the mosques and the churches. We should be looking at ourselves to make sure we can help each other. And that's my thought.
Agreed.
Clint?
Nothing to add now.
Clint's done with us all, boy. Clint's done with us.
Big up yourself, Clint. But once again, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Common Sense _TV. We are here. We've been us, you've been you. Big up.